What is going on, people from the tube? Welcome back to another bunch of things. On the road, September 28th, Central Texas Archery Open. All right, heading up to Logan's, where you guys saw me put my deer blind and my feeder. Not so much luck having deer on camera. Now, I went and checked the cameras on Thursday. Nothing popped up utilizing the feeder. So I decided that day to grab a wick and put some doe urine on it. And hopefully we got some deer find the feeder. What's going on is there is a lot of deer in the area. Like you can see them when you're driving around. There is a lot of deer in the area. Logan already had some deer on his feeder, which is several hundred yards on one of the sides. So it's making me believe that the deer haven't found that feeder yet. So I put the urine there, haven't touched that camera, haven't done anything. So we're gonna see if that kind of like helped out the situation. Now, that being said, I'm gonna be sitting in there this morning just to get the process of loading in, loading out, how everything is gonna work. So I'm gonna be sitting there this morning, but I have a public land spot for the afternoon, and same for Sunday. Sunday I have two different spots in public land. One for the morning, one for the afternoon. So we'll see what we can see and what we can do. So we're heading that way. So I will see you when I'm loading into the public land. I'm not gonna be able to talk too loud when I'm in the mine. So shooting light is 7:22. So Logan is hunting in another property. He was chasing a 9-pointer and he just got it down. So I might have to go and give him a help. I suspect that there's nothing here. There's a lot of noise around. We're kind of close to the house, so I haven't heard anything, just dog barking. Nothing has gone in the front. But he smoked a 9-pointer, so he's gonna let him lay down. And I guess that he's probably gonna hit me with the address so I can go and give him a hand. At least one of us got something on the opener, so.
Right here. Okay, there's a little blood there. Blood. Blood.
Where'd you see the blood?
Yeah. So there's some there. It's a little bit here. Blood here.
Yeah.
So he probably turned. So just look this way. Because there's tracks there. Is that blood?
Yep. Blood here. Blood.
Mm-hmm. Blood there. More blood here.
Right here.
Right there.
There.
Right there.
Yep.
There's my arrow.
There's my arrow. Okay, it did. Bury him.
So he jumped. Yeah, blood there. Blood. Blood. Blood.
Now that arrow fell out, he's starting to bleed.
Blood. 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 Blood.
Get him out.
Blood. Yeah, he jumped.
There. More about on the other side.
He jumped.
So we need to go.
He went that way. He went that way. He's probably under there. Yeah, he crashed there. Oh yeah, over here. Under the bush. It's under that bush. You're not gonna see him from there. It's right there. Like if you stand right here, you'll see.
Yeah, I can see the.
That's right there. You're gonna if you're gonna do it that way, we're gonna have to fling it over.
Alrighty, so I'm gonna pick it up from here. It got really dark. There was a shenanigan in the parking lot that I'm gonna briefly talk about. The beginning of the video, you hear a truck moving out as I'm walking in towards where my blind is. That was Logan leaving to a property that he was hunting that is a few blocks down his house, and he had a 9-pointer on the trail cameras. So before he left, I told him, I was like, "Hey man, you probably will see that bad boy showed up, and you'll take it down." So he takes me around 7:45 in the morning, and he's like, "Hey, the big boy is here. One of the branches that I used to cover that he used to cover his blind fell, and he literally had a hole about that big where he could send the shot. So he had to wait until the deer actually kind of like got in that position, so he could send the bolt through the hole without deflecting the arrow with the branch. So took the shot. So he sent me a text message like, "Hey, I hit him. I might need some help." So he's like, "I'm gonna let it sit for a while. I'll let you know when you're gonna start heading over." So he texts me. I get there about 8:30 in the morning, and soon enough we started tracking the deer, and we were able to find him and recover. He had to go and ask for permission so he could cross the fence, and passing over the fence because the entrance of that property is really far on the other side of the property. So he would have to walk and drag that thing a long ways to where his truck would have to be. So the owner gave him permission that he could cross over the fence and just retrieve the deer. So that's what we did. And he was super stoked. First buck that he gets on opener. So that was really nice. At least one of us got something, you know. In my case, I wanted to see at least a deer, but he was able to harvest one. So we went to his house, processed the deer, quarter it, and I left. And I came home, grabbed some stuff, ate something, took a breather, and drove to the public land. Now here's where things get really weird, and I'm gonna touch really minor on this because I don't want to get aggravated. But this is what happened. As I get there, there's somebody else getting out of the trucks. There's trucks and cars and people everywhere. This flooded with people. Mind you, this is in the afternoon. Was the same scenario in the morning. So I go over there. There's somebody going out there. He asked me if I ever hunt there before. I said no. Like, this is the first time. It's actually the first season that I'm doing deer hunting. So he's like, "Well, I'm gonna show you some point of access, and from there you can take it." So he showed me a couple of point of access. In that process of us walking to those point of access, there was a lady on ATV, back and forth, riding the engines and just disturbing the dirt back and forth, right from one end to the last end of that property. Back and forward, back and forward. And to a point, it literally, within like 70 yards from us, she's just riding the engine and trying to get the dirt and the rocks to kick us. And I didn't say anything because I thought that the person that I was walking with knew this person, and it turns out that he didn't. So it was extremely weird, but through the entire time that we walked in, he found his spot, I found mine. This has been back and forward for hours. I got there at 5:30 and I left there almost at 8 o'clock. And that was back and forward. But that's not it. Somewhere around 6 o'clock, music started blasting in the woods, like super loud. And we had no clue what was going down. So I can hear him behind me, and behind me I know that there was a lot of hunters, but I'm pretty sure that none of those hunters will be blasting music in the middle of a public hunting land where they're trying to harvest a deer on the opener. So as I'm sitting there, I pull my map and realize that there's no houses nearby. So this is not a private party in a house. This is a really strange situation that is going down. So I let it go. I was like, there's nothing I can do. I'm sitting in there, like, what'd you do at that point? Well, so it turns out that the music stops about 5 minutes before the time is up for you to be able to harvest a deer for the day. So I pack my stuff, start walking out, and as I walk out and get to the road, I see the same person that walked with me is farther down the road. He sees me, he stops so we can chat a little bit, and there's lots of people walking out, tons of people walking out. You can see headlamps and stuff, and everybody had the same question. Where is that music coming from? That is so crazy. That's terrible. But then we started finger pointing things. It was like as there's like 10, 15 people talking, and we get to hear him talk about it, and they're like, he sounded behind me, he sounded behind me, he sounded behind me. So it turns out that everybody's hearing this from behind. My speculation, I cannot say this is a fact, this is a speculation, is someone probably hung a Bluetooth speaker on a tree right in the road or barely in the road and were controlling it with a phone. Because the songs were not even finished. Like they will finish a song and then jump straight to another one, and the song will like roll for 20 seconds and jump to another one. It was clearly being managed. It was controlled. It wasn't something that like somebody had a playlist and just let it roll. Which for the most part, if you're sitting with somebody and you're having a great time, you're in the river, whatever you're doing, you have probably a playlist and you let that thing roll. This is just really randomly stopping, cutting, and playing. So as more people came out, we all pulled our phones, and I was like, where were you? I was here. We finger point wherever everybody was. And then we realized the music was coming from the center, close to the road. There was nobody there. There's nobody sitting there. So once we started explaining what we saw with the four-wheeler, with the ATV, and everybody started hearing the thing, it was like clearly this was a sabotage of somebody not wanting people to hunt. So the game warden was called, and everybody put their complaint with the game warden, and turns out that apparently in the morning that there was even more people there. There was an altercation with a lady that was saying that why they had to kill the deer and yada yada yada, and apparently they're linking all of this together to an actual group of people that literally sabotaged the entire opening day of archery hunting in public land in that area. So that was unfortunate, but I got to learn a lot of things. In the processing, like the way that Logan did the processing, the skinning, everything, the gutting, everything. It's not that I'm strange to it. It's just like it's always nice to see somebody do it, and then you can help out and get hands in there and just figure things out. So he showed me some spots where there's some glands that you want to remove and want to make sure that when you cone them, you clean your knife and just a lot of little things here and there that that otherwise by trial and error you will figure out. So he was kind enough to show me those. So other than that, it was amazing. I did another seat today morning at the blind. This time around, when I retrieved the camera memory card, I found a raccoon. So hey, raccoon is better than nothing getting in there. So at least we got there. But this morning when I was walking in, deer are getting closer to the property. So that property have several different other adjacent properties attached. The deer that are getting towards Logan's side of the field is coming from a huge property that is on the other side. So this morning I got to see deer mowing his streets in the yards and people's yards, messing around. So it's a matter of time for them to actually find their way to that feeder, and then we can get into that. But that being said, I didn't hunt today in the afternoon because I'm leaving at 3 in the morning for public land. I'm gonna try to give it another go. It's kind of like in the vicinity, but separately from that area, because the amount of pressure that they put in between yesterday and today was super heavy. And taking the approach of, since I'm not working on Monday, most people might be working. I'm gonna try to sneak into another side on the opposite side of the land and see if that push just got those deers to move farther back, and see if I can at least see some deer and film some stuff for you guys, and also see how close they can get to me or how close I can get to them without spooking them, and maybe getting into range, and maybe if we're blessed enough, take a deer out. But yeah, all in all, this is my first experience on giving it a go in deer hunting, and I'm quite pleased. Quite different. I'm kind of glad that we don't have to be awake all night like we do with dog hunting, but it's different. It's a different vibe, different techniques, different applications, and it's a lot of information to convey, a lot of information to learn, and a lot of trials and errors and do's and don'ts that I'm gonna have to go through. But so far, I got the spirits up. The season have just started. I wasn't planning on seeing a deer and harvesting a deer the first day. That wasn't the case. If it would have happened, it would have been majestic. But right now, I'm learning this whole process. So I'm taking you guys along so you can see the progress and see the mistakes and the actual successes. So stay tuned. Thank you so very much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, click the notification bell so you can be notified every time that I upload a new video. Dog season is coming, and I'm gonna be less deer hunting at that time because I'm gonna be chasing duck. As you everybody know, I'm a duck hunter, so I'm gonna be chasing duck at that point. But this is actually really nice because it keeps me moving, it keeps me working, and I'm gonna be doing a lot of walking for public land, so I can be in the best shape that I can be for when big dog season opens up. So that's all I got for you today. Thank you so very much for watching. Thanks to everybody that has subscribed. I appreciate it. It means the world to me. And I will see you in the next one. I'm gonna take you through this journey from day one until the day that I harvest my first deer. That being this season or next season, whenever that happened, I'm gonna take you guys along through the whole process. So I'm thinking in making a video of the things that I have learned so far. It'll be a small format video, and I would appreciate it of all of you that are deer hunters can collaborate and pitch in information on that video in the comments, and in that way that will help me better my skills and better my opportunities to finally get to the point of harvesting a deer. Thank you so very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Pancho out.